Kaizen Scrolls. Scroll 2, Brothers of the Ring. The road is silent, but for the weight of chains. Clang, clang, clang. With every stride, Kaizen's armor cries out. Blood seeps through the gaps in his plates from the rhino's blade, dripping onto the gray stone. His shoulder burns. He can barely put weight on his leg. Sharp pain shoots through his ribcage with every breath. Can't keep going like this. I need to stop. Need to. His leg buckles. He catches himself against a boulder, breathes. Every breath sends knives through his ribcage. Infection. If it sets in, I'm dead. And this will be all for nothing. Moonlight glints off the surface of a creek that slices through and across the trail ahead. Silver shards against dark stone. Nearby, a small clearing where he can rest unseen from the road, sheltered by an outcropping of rock. There, just a few more steps. Kaizen limps to the water's edge and drops to his knees. He plunges his paws into the creek. The water runs over his wounds. Cold, mountain-fed water should sting, but in essence, he feels nothing. Kaizen strips the damaged armor plate from his left shoulder. The straps weakened from where the rhino's horn shattered the metal. The plate hits the ground with a dull clank. Lighter. He's lighter without it. But the wound beneath is ugly. Torn flesh, dried blood caked with dirt. The edges already showing signs of inflammation. I need to clean this, cauterize it, and move on. He builds a small fire. Habit more than thought. The dry wood catches quickly, and an ember becomes flame, crackling to life. The heat should reach him. The light should warm something inside. Instead, Kaizen sits between the water and fire like a stone between two elements. One hand trails in the creek while the other extends toward the flames. The mountain water bites at his wounds, ice sharp enough to make most warriors flinch. The fire radiates waves that would normally draw a shiver from cold, stiffened muscles. He registers both, acknowledges neither. The creek water rinses his wounds, red, then pink, then clear. The creek doesn't care about his blood, just carries it away downstream. He draws his blade through the flames. He holds it there until steel glows orange. His reflection wavers in the creek's surface, scarred, hollow-eyed, aged beyond his years. Is this what Manami would see? Is this what Kiba? No. Can't think of them. He removes his paw from the water. The reflection ripples and breaks. The heated blade hovers over his torn shoulder. He presses steel to flesh. The sizzle, the smell of burning fur and meat, the white-hot agony that explodes through nerve endings. He makes no sound, just grits his teeth, counts to 5, and pulls the blade away. The wound is sealed, crude, ugly, but sealed. Still nothing. No scream, no cry, just mechanical efficiency. He wraps the wounds with strips from his undershirt. Not clean, not proper bandages, but better than nothing. Kaizen leans back against the boulder, stares at his reflection in the water. Scarred, hollow, empty. What would they see if they could see me now? Would they even recognize me? From somewhere in the distance, a sound, gentle at first, like a distant thunder rolling across hills. The creak of wooden wheels. Kaizen's ears twitch. That sound, 1,000 times over what seems to be an eternity, that chatter of merchants guiding each other down a dusty path. From covered wagons, the laughter of children echoes, resonating like melody. The sound of song and idle conversation fills the air. A caravan. Ordinary travelers seeking safe passage through dangerous country. The sound pierces through the numbness. Wheels, voices, children laughing. His paw hovers over the flames. And then something shifts. Warmth. Not from the fire. From somewhere deeper. radiating from his core, pushing back against the emptiness. The reflection in the water ripples once more, but this time color leaks through, like ink spreading through clear water. The flames dance higher, shapes forming in the firelight. Wagons, children, sunlight on silver blue fur. A memory floods in like a dam breaking, and the gray world starts to shift. The sun blazes above the mountain pass, painting everything in gold and azure. A trading caravan winds its way through narrow trails, merchants carrying heavy packs filled with bright fabrics, crimson silks, emerald cottons, and golden thread that catches the light. Small handcarts laden with pottery and spices, children with flower-crowned heads walking alongside their parents with eyes full of wonder at every turn in the path, every new vista of the mountain and sky. At the front is Isamu, 24 years old, his broad shoulders set like brown stone against the brilliant sky. His iron staff plants with each measured step. Thunk, thunk, thunk. The bull's rhythm that speaks of safety, of order, of walls that won't fall. Stay close. Eyes forward. Keep formation. He studies every possible ambush spot, surveying the cliffs above and the shadows cast by the rocks. Parents, keep your children near. A merchant stumbles on loose stone. Isamu's hand shoots out, catches the older goat's elbow, steadies him without breaking stride. Easy, watch your step. The merchant nods, grateful, adjusts his pack, and keeps moving. At the rear, Kaizen, 22 years old, moves with fluid precision. No heavy armor, no grief carved into his face, just twin swords at his hip and the natural grace of a born warrior. Silver blue fur catching the sunlight as he moves through like water through the line. His tail sways with each step, relaxed, easy, alive. He laughs with a cluster of children clinging to the wagon's edge. His blue eyes bright and alive with mischief. Even the nervous merchants find themselves smiling, their worried frowns softening. Without batting an eye, he flings an apple over his shoulder. It whirls up into the blue sky, rising high in an arc. The kids gasp. Without pausing his pace or even looking back, the apple lands in his palm behind his back with a soft whop. The children erupt in delighted squeals. Again, again! A young teenage fox, lean and quick, calls out with a grin. With another flip of the wrist, Kaizen catches the apple on the pommel of his sword, balancing it there. The fox's eyes light up with admiration. Even nervous merchants smile. White-knuckled grips on carts, handles loosen, shoulders relax. Formation? Kaizen calls forward. Bullhead, they're merchants, not soldiers. Rigid formations make them targets. Isamu doesn't turn, but his ears flick back. A sign Kaizen knows well. Order keeps people alive, Wolf. Discipline prevents chaos. Kaizen winks at the children, stage whispering loudly enough for Isamu to hear perfectly. Don't tell him, but smiles help people stay brave. Brave people fight better than terrified ones. The children giggle. The merchants chuckle. Just don't let them get too comfortable, Wolf. These passes have teeth. That's what we're here for, Kaizen calls back, tossing the apple to the young fox who catches it with both paws, beaming. To make sure those teeth don't bite. The whole caravan seems lighter somehow. Colors more vibrant, laughter more frequent. Isamu's presence anchors them. Kaizen's spirit lifts them. Then, movement. The attack comes without warning. High on the cliff, a glint of metal. There, 4 shapes, maybe 5, hidden in the rocks. An arrow whistles past the red rock cliffs above, aimed straight for the merchant's back. Without breaking stride or dropping his smile, Kaizen's hand flows to his sword hilt. One breath, one motion. One ring of steel meeting air. The deflected arrow spins, tumbles, embeds itself in the stone with a resonant thunk that echoes off the mountain walls. The merchant doesn't even know death just passed an inch from his spine. Down! Kaizen's voice cuts through the air clean. Wagons, between you and the cliffs, now! The merchants rush to follow, no panic or uncertainty. Their faith in him has paid off, and they act quickly. Ambush! Isamu roars, his staff already moving, spinning to deflect another arrow. He plants himself in a movable wall. Form up on me! Shield wall! Protect the families! His iron staff flashes silver as it crushes a bandit's skull, the impact echoing off the cliffs. Boom! Explosion! Stone and dirt fountain skyward. Black powder stench, thick and choking. There, trying to scatter us. Break the formation. Not today. Bandits emerge from concealed places like stark shadows cast against the bright mountain stone. 10, 15, 20. A massive boar leads them, tusk gleaming yellow in the sunshine, a warhammer gripped in both hands. The weapon's head bears fresh notches, dark stains catching the gold light. Rush the rear! Take the supplies! The boar bellows. 6 bandits break toward the rear wagons, toward the children. Outnumbered, they're between me and the families. Kaizen flows. The first bandit, Weasel, quick with a twin rust pocket blades, comes in fast, feigning high with to a low strike. Textbook opening that Kaizen reads like poetry written in steel. The blade cuts air where Kaizen was, but Kaizen is water now, already moving, already borrowing a merchant's walking stick. The sweep comes low and singing, whoosh, catching the weasel ankles. The bandit flies, falls, slams to stone, with a crack that reverberates through the mountain pass. Before the dazed eyes can focus, the stick descends. Thwack! Wood meeting skull, perfect rhythm. Conscious flees. One flowing motion, the stick planted, body launched. Kaizen vaults skyward, using momentum like a gift, and lands cat-soft atop the wagon. Stick returned to its owner with a grin. Borrowed, thanks. The children gasp, point, eyes wide with wonder. 2 bandits rush the wagon, blades drawn. From his perch, Kaizen sees it. Flour dust thick and white from the explosion that tore the sack. His tail sweeps wide and graceful, an arc that sends the white powder billowing, blooming, becoming a cloud of concealment that swallows the advancing bandits whole. A white cloud explodes like a snowstorm. They lunge into it blind, coughing, swinging wildly. Kaizen descends like judgment, twin blades flashing silver through the flower storm. 2 cuts, precise and clean. The bandits fall in perfect synchrony. Their ending written in steel and grace. Environment is your ally. Use what's given. Dance with what the world provides. A lizard scrambles up the wagon's side, seeking height, seeking advantage. Kaizen's hand finds a rope coiled neat. With a whip crack like lightning, snap! Rope singing as it wraps the lizard's ankle. One sharp pull sends the bandits meeting the wagon wheel with a crunch that ends all ambition. 3 more bandits press in, coordinated, professional, flanking from multiple angles. An arrow whispers from above. Aim true for Kaizen's spine. Archer, high cliff, compensating for wind. The arrow misses by inches. Kaizen already moving, always moving. It strikes the wagon's cargo pen instead. Pop! Water barrels roll free. The wagon bed tilting, chaos bleeding opportunity. There, Kaizen leaps, lands light as thought atop the first rolling barrel. Rides it like a river current, then flows to the next and to the next, his paws tapping rhythm. Tap, tap, tap across the barrels, directing momentum with a touch soft as breath. The 3 bandits scatter, but gravity doesn't negotiate. The barrels crash through them like rolling thunder. Kaizen lands behind in a crouch, tail extended for a perfect bounce. The children erupt in cheers that sound like music, like bells, like everything good in the world can offer. Did you see that? The fox with the apple shouts. Kaizen smiles slightly, spinning his sword with his hand. One bandit rises, rage twisting his features, blade rising high, charging with murderous intent. But Kaizen, already aloft again, has never truly stopped moving, will never stop moving while children need protecting. Arcing graceful over the charge, landing softly behind, one pommel strike to the skull base ends the threat with merciful efficiency. No wasted movement, no excessive force. Flow like water, adapt like flame. Let the enemy's momentum work against them. A spear thrust from his blind side. Behind you, Kaizen! The teenage fox shouts. From the wagon, Kaizen plucks an iron pan. Iron pan meets spear shaft. Clang! Redirecting the force into the cart where the wood grips. Spear tip and holds it fast. Kaizen's blade finds shoulder before the bandit can wrench it free, disabling but not destroying. Because even in violence, there can be mercy, must be mercy, when children are watching. Another bandit's sword cuts air where Kaizen's head was. He drops down to one knee, feels the wind kiss his ears, then drives upward with his skull, meeting chin with a crack that snaps the bandit's head back and sends consciousness fleeing. Before the body can fall, Kaizen's fist finds gut, drives deep, and the sword flies from the nerveless fingers into Kaizen's waiting hand. He sends the blade onward to the caravan guard, frozen in awe. The guard fumbles, drops it, too shocked to speak as he clumsily tries to grab it, and it just slides through his fingers. The other guards chuckle, despite the danger. The blades sing in Kaizen's hands. The world moves in rhythm. Purpose flows through every motion. This is what he was made for. At the front, Isamu holds the line. His staff descends. Crash! A bandit skull craters beneath the blow. Another assailant tries to flank from behind, but Isamu's staff is already there. Swinging backward without eyes to guide it, bone breaks with the sound of kindling. Snapping, sharp, and absolute. Stay behind me, Isamu roars. Do not break formation! The Boar leader raises his warhammer, crushing a wagon wheel to splinters as he charges. 2 tons of muscle and malice aim straight at Isamu. Break the line! Crush the bull! Isamu meets him head on. Crash! Staff against hammer. Strength against strength. Will against will. The ground shakes. Dust rises. The impact echoes off walls as it returns as prophecy of violence yet to come. But the Boar is massive, twice Isamu's weight. His hammer heavy enough to split mountains. Each blow drives the bull backward, one step, then another. Crash! 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 Relentless, inevitable, stone wearing down. Kaizen! Isamu grunts, his voice carrying strain but no surrender. Sweat beads on his forehead. Now would be a good time! On it! Kaizen sprints the side of a nearby cart, using it as a ramp, as a springboard. He launches himself skyward, both blades aimed for the Boar's exposed back. The perfect killing strike. But the Boar is faster than his bulk suggests. He turns. Combat instinct guides his warhammer in a devastating arc, straight at Kaizen's airborne body. No ground to push off. Can't dodge. Can't. Clang! Isamu catches the hammer mid-swing. Sparks flying. The force drives Isamu to one knee, but he holds. Muscles screaming. Wood cracking, but nothing breaking. Yet, giving his brother a heartbeat needed to live. Kaizen flies past the deflected hammer, just inches from certain death. Lands hard. Rolls. Rises. Gasping. Heart pounding. That was too close. Bullhead. Pay attention, Wolf. No anger, just fierce protectiveness for one who refuses to let his brother fall. A trembling laugh escapes Kaizen. Noted. Thanks for the save. Not the first time. Isamu blocks another hammer strike. Crash! Standing again. Who's counting? I am. You're at 3. The Boar bellows in frustration, swinging wildly between them. Neither wolf nor bull gives him a clean target. Through the chaos, their eyes meet. No words needed. Too big for either one of us alone, Kaizen calls out, blue eyes calculating as he circles. His grin turns fierce. Like old times? Isamu answering, smile shows through his strain. Like old times. They move as one. Isamu surges forward, staff low, drawing the boar's attention. The hammer swings down. Isamu catches it on a hardened oak. The impact shaking his arms. His boots stay planted and immovable. The boar commits, focuses entirely on breaking through the bull's defenses. Kaizen circles wide, silent as shadow. The boar's flank explodes. Izumu's staff catches the boar in the ribs. Crack! Bone breaking, air leaving lungs. In the same heartbeat, Kaizen's blades find the tendons behind the knees with surgical precision. The massive bandit leader crashes to the earth, warhammer falling from his grasp. The sound like an avalanche. Thud. The remaining bandits see their champion fallen. See wolf and bull standing side by side. Wisdom finds them. They run. The caravan erupts and cheers. Children run to Kaizen with flowers still in their hair, tugging at his light traveling clothes, eyes wide with admiration and wonder. He kneels, accepts the flower crown from a bear cub, and places it on his head with exaggerated ceremony. The children shriek with laughter. Did you see him fly? He used everything as a weapon, even flour. Merchants clasp Izamu's enormous shoulders, their voices rising in thankful appreciation. Like a wall of stone, nothing got past you. Safe because of you both, a trader calls out. We would have lost everything, our goods, our families. Kaizen lifts one of the children onto his shoulders. Safe because this bull doesn't know how to break. He nods at Izumu with genuine respect. Izumu's scowl softens. He bumps Kaizen's shoulder with a fist. And because this wolf can't shut up long enough to let people be afraid. Their eyes meet. A grin passes between them. Perfect teamwork. Perfect trust. Brothers and all but blood. A young adult wolf emerges from the crowd. Maybe 20 years old. Gray and silver coat that shimmers in the golden sunlight. Underneath her outer coat, specks of dark purple glimmer down her limbs and graze her ears. Her purple eyes shine with gratitude. She rises on her toes and plants a quick kiss on Kaizen's cheek. Thank you, she says, her voice soft but fierce, for protecting us, for protecting everyone. Then she's gone, disappearing back into the crowd of grateful travelers before Kaizen can respond. The teenage fox dashes up to him, diverting Kaizen's attention, enthusiasm palpable in his eyes. Please, will you teach me how to fight like that? Kaizen stands to face him properly, examining the fox with eyes that see everything. Find a good teacher, train hard, but remember. He touches the kid's forehead gently. Fighting isn't about hurting, it's about protecting others like your parents. That's why it's worth learning. The fox nods, hugs him tight, dashes back to his family. The golden sun begins to set behind the mountains, casting everything in warm light. The caravan prepares to move on, colorful packs shifting as people gather their belongings. Voices rise in song. Merchants share food and drink with the two warriors who saved them. For one moment, the world is bright and full of promise. For one perfect moment, Kaizen understands exactly who he is and what he's meant to do. This is what strength is for. Izumu approaches with his staff slung over his shoulder. He hands Kaizen a water skin. Not bad, wolf. Though the flower crown is a bit much. Kaizen drinks deep, smiles mischievously. Jealous? Pretty sure the kids would love to make one for you too. I'll pass. But Izumu's eyes crinkle with warmth. We make a good team. The best. Standing shoulder to shoulder, they watch as the sun casts golden, fiery hues over the mountains. Brothers. Partners. Unshakable. Crack! A pop from the fire that gives no warmth, and the memories disappear like smoke. The sound of wheels fade abruptly. The darkness of night surrounds the wolf. Cold rushes back in. Kaizen's eyes snap open. The caravan has passed. Continuing down the road, unaware the heavy wolf crouches nearby, wounded and bleeding. Gauntlets covered with blood, bearing the marks of 100 fights. Hands that once juggled apples for children now know how to snap necks. He uses the water from the creek to douse the fire. The flames hiss and die, despite the pain from his wounds. He gathers his strength to stand. Clang, clang, clang. As night falls, the road ahead fades into darkness. A veil of shadow descends over the mountain pass. Somewhere ahead, the market town waits. The rhino's dying words echo. Market. Tomorrow, find the bull. Find answers. Tonight, the armor weighs him down, and the memory of who he was walks beside him like a ghost he can neither touch nor banish. The gray world closes in around him once more. But somewhere deep inside, where the warmth briefly flickered, a tiny ember remains. Not hope, not yet, just memory of brothers in the ring, of what he was before everything was taken. End of scroll 2. Lesson learned. We are strongest when we complement each other's gifts, but when we walk alone, we carry only our limitations and the weight of what we've abandoned.